Well, if you ever wondered if the Senate would be relevant again, it's about as relevant as it has ever been. It is at the center now of a controversial debate about physician-assisted death, or Bill C-14, where it resides now. And the question is, does it pass the Senate before the Supreme Court's decision of June 6th? The answer looks like no, but to get a real picture of what's about to happen in the Senate, I'm joined now by the Senate Liberal leader, James Cowan. Senator Cowan, great to have you here.
Good to be here.
All right, first of all, any chance this passes by June 6th?
No.
Straight up, why not?
Well, because we've just received it last evening, and we're going to hear from the ministers today. We'll start our second reading debate tomorrow, and then we'll send it to our legal committee, and they're going to meet Monday, Tuesday of next week, and then it'll come back for third reading debate. And it's been in the House of Commons for 6 weeks, and I think it's unrealistic, to say the least, to expect that the Senate would deal with it one way or the other in a few days.
What are the consequences of not meeting the Supreme Court deadline of June 6th?
Well, this is a very serious issue, obviously, and people have very diverse views, very firmly held views on this issue. And I think personally, and I think most of my colleagues believe, that it's important for us to do the job that we're here to do and to make sure that we have the best bill that we can. I think that we would all prefer to have a bill in place and a federal legislative framework. But it has to be the right legislative framework. It can't be just, well, any bill is better than no bill. In my view, this bill is so deeply flawed that I would prefer not to have it, and then I would, Canadians could rely on what I think is a very clear judgment of the Supreme Court of Canada in Carter, the Carter decision. You have very clear criteria as to who is eligible to access medical assistance in dying, and then you have the work that's been done in every province and territory by the colleges of physicians and surgeons to prepare for this. So there won't be a legal vacuum. There was a framework, not as uniform as we would all like to see it, but there will be lots of safeguards in place for people, and I'm not concerned about that.
Okay, Senator, what did you make of this? Some Liberal MPs have said, this is a good sign. People on one side say it's too restrictive, and it won't pass a constitutional test, a charter challenge. And on the other side, they say, no, it's too open. It's a slippery slope. Yeah. So both sides oppose that. And then in the House of Commons this week, Justin Trudeau, in answering a question to Thomas Mulcair, said, this is the beginning of a conversation. That really struck me, Senator, and I wonder your view on it, because the Liberals had already refused amendments on the bill. Yeah. Is this the beginning of a conversation about a serious issue?
Well, it's a serious issue, as we say, but it's also a very uncomfortable issue for people to address. It's like the abortion issue. It's an important issue, but parliamentarians, politicians, particularly elected politicians, are not comfortable talking about it. They don't want to voluntarily engage in this, and so we're engaged in this not because parliamentarians decide, well, here's a big issue, let's take this on. We're engaged in it because the Supreme Court of Canada struck down some
because you got the Carter decision.
Yeah, so you got the Carter decision. So the Carter decision did not say Parliament has to do something. Parliament said, if Parliament wants to do something, then it can do it within the parameters, the constitutional parameters set down in Carter. So it's as a result of the Carter decision that we are where we are now. So I think that to say that, well, we'll pass this bill and then we'll revisit it in the fall or next year, it will only be revisited when somebody challenges it successfully and we have the second iteration of Carter. And I'm not prepared to agree to that process, because I think it then puts individuals through endless court proceedings and expense and trauma and everything.
Yeah,
that's not the way.
Why pass a bill if it's going to fail? I got about 10 seconds here. Does the Senate sit deep into the summer to try to sort this out?
No, I don't think so. I think we can. There's no attitude. Nobody wants to delay the consideration. I think we can deal with this over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll amend it and send it back to the House. And I think all that can certainly be done by the end of June.
All right, Senator Cowan, appreciate that.
Pleasure.
The debate continues.